So I'm going to go through all my little crystals here, and I'm going to sort them by chakra relevance, and then I will talk about how they relate to the chakras and how they can help charge and cleanse those energetic points. So the root chakra is going to relate to all the crystals that are red or black or gray. Sorry if I move around a lot in this video. Hard to get good angles sometimes. So then I'm going to pick out the orange crystals, or predominantly orange crystals. And those are going to relate to the sacral chakra. I have a lot of orange crystals. I don't know why, but I always seem to come home with them. Didn't realize I was collecting so many until I was like, wow. It's like half the crystals I have. Then all the yellow crystals are the ones that are going to relate to the solar plexus chakra. I have a bunch of very little pieces over there. And anything that's gold as well falls under the solar plexus. Then green relates to the heart chakra. As does pink. I think people always associate the heart chakra with pink and forget that its primary color is actually green. I kind of feel like the pink stones and the green stones have a bit of a different energy. Pink crystals are some of my favorite crystals. Somehow they're always some of the prettiest ones. Alright. And the next chakra is the throat chakra. And the throat chakra relates to both the colors of light blue and turquoise. So, you know, some of them are going to be more green, some of them are blue. This is one of my favorite stones I have. This is like my perfect favorite color. Should have put this in with the pink ones, honestly. Finding a bunch of little ones that escape my notice. And that's also a green one. It's actually another really nice one. Blue's my favorite color, and I love crystals like this, like a blue or a turquoise. I apologize for not doing the best sorting job the first time around. Okay, so the next chakra we're gonna do is the third eye, which is dark blue and indigo. Then purple is the crown chakra. This one's got really cool colors, if you can see. I need more purple crystals. Now that I'm taking a look at it. And, oh, there's another blue one. Then they also say that the crown chakra is white crystals. Oh, this one's actually purple, just very slightly tinted. You can see that. Something like this is interesting because it's white and it's black. So you could say it relates to both the root and the crown, but honestly, every time I pick this up, I feel much more crown energy. And then, not related to any specific chakra, but I've got clear crystals, which I always feel relate more to kind of an upper chakra feeling, but I feel like they're always just really good for cleansing the entire aura. And they're good for like a full body energetic cleanse. So. Oh, chakra rainbow. So the root chakra deals with everything that's kind of related to like your home base, because it's located at the base of the spine. And that's gonna be your childhood, your family, you know, your current living situation, home, and also just general, you know, everything that's kind of your foundation. And it has to do with strength and power and stability, and it holds up the rest of your energetic system. There's a hair. So all of the red crystals, as well as all of the black crystals, relate to that. And I think I always feel like the red crystals have a real association with the warmer aspects of it, you know, the home, the family. I feel more emotion, I think, from them than the black crystals, which are often related to protection, strength, you know, kind of sense of invulnerability. And they say that black is really good for dispelling negative energies. And, you know, like a gray stone is a little bit between, you know, black and the white, and I feel like it's got a bit more of a mystical energy because of that. And it kind of ties the higher and the lower chakras a bit. But, you know, when you hold these crystals, when you work with them, they should give you a sense of strength, the feeling that you can support yourself, that you've got it together, that you can be your own support system, that you're protected from, you know, negative energies, and nothing from the outside is going to influence you in a way you don't want to be influenced. And the chakra mantra for the roots is I am. So it centers the self, identity, your own ability to, you know, make changes or to stabilize yourself. And it's a stone of independence, chakra of independence, which doesn't mean that you don't need other people, that you can't get outside support. Sometimes maybe what you need is the strength to be able to ask for that help and that support. But first you need to have the confidence to do so. And to know that it's going to be the best thing for you, and it's going to help you solidify your place in the world right now. So they're very strengthening stones. Alright. So next is the sacral chakra. Everything that's orange. Some of them are more of a yellow orange, some of them are a bit more of a red orange. And you know, when something comes a little in between, like this one right here, carnelian I was telling you about, that one could, you know, while it's predominantly orange, also has some yellow, some red. And this one right here is a little more yellow. So sometimes when they kind of come between colors, you can use them for 2 different chakras or 3 different chakras, depending on what the look is. Anyway, so sacral chakra goes over your sacrum, and it relates to, creation, to creativity, joy and happiness, all sorts of pleasure, everything sexual. That's all located in that chakra, because all of those things are creative in their way, and all of those things are supposed to be pleasurable in their way. So these stones should give you a real boost of energy, because that's the chakra that most relates to just pure energy, joy, inspiration. And they tend to have really strong kind of a vibe when you pick them up. Like, I feel like you can feel really easily an orange stone, because they tend to feel like there's just energy pulsating out of them, especially the really kind of fiery looking ones. And they should be used to help you feel creative, help you feel more energized, enthusiastic, inspired. And they're good for points in your life where you're, trying to work on something, trying to get creative juices flowing, trying to be more energized, trying to feel invigorated. And it should help you just connect to passion and your motivation. The sacral chakra mantra is I want. So they're very good for helping you get direction, helping you kind of conceptualize what you're moving towards. They're good if you need motivation, to ask someone for what you want, to express yourself in that way. The sacral chakra is kind of like the lower chakra expression of desire, as opposed to the higher up one in the throat. Because the lower chakras are the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, and they relate to more base things, more physical, matter-of-fact world things, as opposed to the upper chakras. So the solar plexus chakra is, middle of your body and your stomach. And there is another hair. My floor is kind of dirty. Ignore that. So the solar plexus is your ego, your perception of yourself sometimes, or the way that other people perceive you. It can relate to work and just, your drive to do things, to be successful, to be productive. And, it can relate to vanity and, obsession with sometimes your sense of self, how you're being perceived. So they're very good for confidence in how you look and what you do. They're very social stones. So they can give you more energy, if you need it for a social situation. They can bring harmony, I think, into social interactions, business deals. anything where you really have to present affably, feel confidence in the way that you come off. And in that way, it can relate to your success. Like something like pyrite, fool's gold, is known as a money stone. And the mantra for the solar plexus chakra is I do. So very much relating to work, drive, to be less personally and to do with how you are seen. And just focus on how what you do in your life for yourself and for others relates to yourself as a whole. And I feel like when this chakra is blocked, when it's low, that's when people feel really hermitish. They don't want to go out. They want to keep to themselves, either because they're just exhausted or because they've become so self-conscious that they can't really put themselves out there at the moment because of fear. So these are stones that could help with that, help someone overcome those problems and that sense of insecurity. Okay, so these are stones for the heart chakra, which of course is located in the chest over the heart. And my nails match. And the heart chakra is it's like the middle chakra that they say comes between, it's both a lower and an upper chakra. It kind of bridges those two parts. And the heart chakra is the love that we give and receive, and our ability to be compassionate, to be giving, but also to allow others to give to us. And it's self-love, it's love for other people, just for the universe in general. And these stones are supposed to help you connect to your emotions, to be able to both give and receive love from other people. And when there's a blockage in the heart, I think living becomes very draining and painful. Because, the most important thing in life is love. And to let that energy flow through you, to be open to people, to come always from this loving, giving place. Which is hard to do when you have a heart blockage, when you have trouble trusting people, when you worry that you're not going to be accepted, that the love you give isn't going to be returned. So I think it's a chakra that is easily blocked because people are so worried about love in various ways. So, they say that the pink stones are really good for self-love, and the green ones are really good for giving love and, paying it back. And I think that's because, some of the pink ones tend to have a more translucent quality, kind of more like the clear ones, and there's something that feels like more of a higher chakra energy coming off of them. Spiritual, relating to the self and growth. And the green ones are often, I think, more opaque and solid, and they help us relate to, things we do for other people. Something more tangible about them. Yeah, the heart chakra mantra is I love. So these stones can help you connect to feelings of love and to remind you that, you have to always be coming from that loving place as opposed to one that's judgmental, that's fear-based. Because fear is such a block, like the number one blockage for genuine expressions of love. And they prevent a lot, I think, of good things happening in our lives when we're just too afraid to show vulnerability, say how we really feel. So those are good stones to, charge that up and help connect to emotions and help to express them. Alright, so throat chakra has all the prettiest stones, if you ask me. And that relates, again, to creativity, like the sacral chakra, but it's the first of the higher chakras. And, it's also creative expression, but it's more idea-based, whereas the sacral is more action-based. And it's communication as well, the way that we speak to other people, the way we want our voice to be heard. All of our thoughts, our ideas, confrontation, all comes through the throat chakra. And, the throat chakra mantra is I speak. So these are good stones for both helping clarify, solidify thoughts, and for helping those thoughts be expressed in the most productive, most clear way, so that, we're not misunderstood, misinterpreted, that communication becomes clear and effective, and, ourselves, our thoughts really become known in our own minds and to other people. And they're also just so pretty. So then we have third eye chakra, all the dark blue or indigo stones. And the third eye chakra is between the eyebrows. Though it's often depicted as being on the forehead. I think that's just an easy place for people to draw an eye. But the third eye relates to, second sight, to both psychic ability to see beyond our physical worlds, but also the ability to see other, not physically perceivable things, to see truth, to see people's intentions, to see situations the way that they really are. And when we don't want to see truth, when we don't want to really have understanding, when we want to be, delusional and blind to how our lives really are going, that's when the third eye tends to shut off. And a lot of people don't have very open upper chakras because they're so based, in the physical world and lower matters. They're materialistic, capitalistic. They're stuck in petty feuds. They only want to be right. They don't want to actually know the truth. Or, they don't see the light, see what's really there. So these are good stones for perception. The mantra for the third eye is I see. So these help you open your third eye to the things you might not otherwise see. People's real intentions, your own life path. For people who are particularly inclined to it, that can be psychic sights, being able to see energies, to make predictions. This could be psychic dreams. Any way in which, day-to-day perception can be enhanced. Whether there's that psychic quality or not, there's plenty that everybody can be seeing that isn't spelled out in front of them if they're willing to open their eye and really take a look. And the third eye is my central chakra. So these are good stones for me, and I should probably have more of them. Alright, so crown chakra is the highest chakra, located at the top of the head, or the crown of the head, if you will. Stones that are purple or white. So I feel like the purple ones are really locked into the crown chakra. I really feel that connection. And the white ones, I feel like almost reach above that, and they're good for more of a full body sense of peace. Like this stone, I just always feel such peacefulness around. I really like this one. I know it's like a snow something. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway. So the crown relates to all the highest matters in the universe. It's our connection directly to the universe, to the other side, our spirit guides, all the different beings that are on the other side. It's our highest points of connection, so nothing, it's the absence of things that are shallow, that are materialistic, moving above the sight from the third eye and just pure connection to what's above us, whatever, however you want to phrase it, whatever it is that you believe in. But the connection to something higher, higher being, a higher power that guides our lives, that puts us on our life path and brings, higher knowledge and sense of certainty that things are going the right way in our lives. The more open you are at your crown, the more connected you are to the other side, the less worry you're going to have. And I think that's why they're such calming stones. Because, when you understand that everything is happening for a reason, that there's always a higher plan involved, that we're being guided at all times to be exactly who we are and where we have to be, then, fear truly dissipates, because you just know that everything's going to be okay. And everything is always okay, even when you're at your lowest moments. There's always something that we're being guided towards. And maybe you have to dip down in your life a bit before you can really rise out of it. But there's a feeling of certainty associated with the chakra, with the stones, and the mantra. For the crown chakra is I know. I've also seen it as I understand. So moves beyond, lower insecurities and even beyond the things that we can perceive with the third eye, and it's just 100% true. Not just thinking, not just, seeing, but really knowing and understanding our place in the universe, and that something is always guiding us and always happening, and that we don't have to worry ever. Because if we could really, understand, if we could really perceive of the greater scope of things in our lives in the universe, we'd never be worried about anything. So they're very calming, very enlightening stones, and they're good for if you want to try to find a sense of calmness, or if you're meditating, if you're trying to connect to the other side, if you're trying to feel that sense of certainty and calm in the world. And again, a lot of people tend to be rather closed at the crown, because it's a very high concept thing. And a lot of people don't even want to think this way. They want to be stuck in their earthly problems and grievances. Alright, so then clear, I believe these are all just clear quartz in different pieces. But they don't relate to any specific chakra. I feel like they just connect to the aura itself. And they're very cleansing. They're good for cleansing if you just feel like you got bad energy all over, if you feel like you need a reset. They're good just to hold on to and feel cleaner, clearer, bring clarity. Or if you just kind of want to not think about anything, clear your mind, and sort of just exist instead of, fixating on anything. I feel like they're very good for that, and that actually might be a good stone for you, just totally cleansing. And just feeling, cleaner without having to feel any specific area at the moment. Really good for Reiki, if you're doing Reiki, or it's being done on you to have it in the room, I think. It's just sort of a natural cleanser. So yeah, those are all my little crystals, and I think people have a misconception of them, that like a crystal's gonna change your life by just you having it in the room or something, that naturally it's going to bring money or love or stability, whatever, into your life. And that's going to do it on its own, but that's not what a crystal does. Crystal is all about energies and frequencies, and they're supposed to inspire you, connect to your energy, motivate you, help you to change energetically, hopefully to open your mind, your heart, whatever it is, and motivate you to make those changes. And just help give you the right energy to take the steps that you need in order to help you change, fix, enhance, whatever it is in your life that you're trying to work on. And, I'm not saying that they can't bring luck and abundance, but it's more about how it inspires you than it is about anything that the crystal itself does on its own. You have to work with it. There's... It interacts with your energy. And universal energy. But it's just, a conduit for energy that you can absorb. And then it's up to you. And that's all.